Yeah. I I meant what I was what I was trying to motion to you is I didn't hear the music if there was lobby music. Was there? I might be on the wrong stream then. It's- Oh no, yeah, I was just on the wrong one. Which I saw people chatting in the one I was in though. So yeah, I think the one even you chatted in was the wrong one. Um, all right. Beautiful. I think I'm on the right one. Mhm. Oh, that's annoying. I can hear you, but maybe you muted the stream.
All right. Okay. All right. All right.
We back.
We back, baby. You know, first try. We got
That's
it.
right.
Bro, this was one of the worst starts in a while, for sure. But we got here. We're here.
Yeah, we were due, you know?
Yeah.
Since it's been a minute.
Yeah. I apologize, guys. What I was saying when I was muted the whole time was Streamlabs is just, they did this to me at the solo stream last week where it shows the output and it shows it correctly going to the stream link, but the chat is from a different link and the actual output is also from a different link. So I'm getting both in one window here, the chat from the other link that's not working and the current output that's going to the new link. So anyway, you know, we just knocking the dust off. So here we are.
That's right.
But
well, good to be back, man.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit in our Worlds Beyond, but might be worth a refresh for our Critical Role folks. But apologies for me personally being absent from the last few things, but we just have had a crazy summer going on, and most recently my computer died.
Yep.
So that's why I've been MIA, but we're up and running again now, so hopefully back to smooth sailing.
Yep. So here we are. Did I already ask you how you're doing?
I don't remember.
I can't remember if I told this story when I was a camp counselor years ago. Like on the first day of camp, you know, we went to the same camp. You don't want to be awkward, but you want the kids to like feel like not homesick. And so like on the first day of camp, you're going around and being like, "Hey, what's up, man? Where are you from, buddy?" And I just remembered this distinct memory to this kid who I just felt like was just not happy to be there. Because sometimes, I don't know if we ever talked about this, sometimes parents would sign kids up and take them to camp and not tell them. And be like, yeah, we're taking your sister to camp. Oh, by the way, you're staying too. And so you'd have like a 14-year-old boy who's like, dude, I wanted to play video games all week and I have to stay at this summer. Like, just not a great situation, obviously.
Right.
Well, anyway, so I'm talking to this kid and I'm like, where are you from, bud? And he's like, Sherwood or, you know, Shreveport or whatever, or they're both S's. I guess Worlds Beyond's on the name. And so he's like, Shreveport. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. Yeah, so first time to camp? And he's like, yeah. And I go, cool, man. So where are you from? He's like, Shreveport. That's what I felt like that's my long way of saying for our intro. I was like, did I ask you how you're doing yet today, man? You're like, yeah, I'm still good.
No, I don't know if you did. I can't remember, but you know, I'm doing all right. We got a little rain today, which is always nice. Although I was out in it when it started pouring down, so I got completely soaked.
Yeah, it really started coming down, didn't it?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so far so good. I bought some lemonade from a lemonade stand today. You know, classic experience. I feel like.
Congrats! You're addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Anyway,
yeah, you know,
that's cool. You made some kid's day.
Yeah, there was like a whole school like was out there doing it, or like a whole class, I guess.
Interesting.
Around Sequoia up there.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
But yeah.
Have you listened to any Worlds Beyond yet?
Not the newest one, no. Have you?
I'm about 40 minutes in. Brennan Lee Mulligan.
An ultimate episode.
I hate you, Brennan Lee Mulligan. That's what I have to say.
Oh no!
Oh, it's so good. It's good. It's good.
I did just check my email before we got on here, and I saw that they sent out Suvi's letter to Silver. I haven't read it yet, but you know we were talking about the letter to Sworn.
Mm-hmm.
So they just did this one now too. So I'm excited.
You'll have to forward that to me. I'm guessing that's through the Patreon.
Yeah, I assume. I think probably.
Yeah, you'll have to send that to me because I'm really curious.
Yeah.
Glimmy says, Big Sugar claims a victim.
That's right. Hopefully that's all that was in there.
Is this, we've already told this story before, but just random lore cut. I just remember that time you got lemonade from Chick-fil-A, and then you were like, do we have any, what's it called? Like allergy medicine? Yeah, Benadryl. And I was like, I don't think so. Are you good, man? We lived together. And I walked in, and it was like Hitch, you know, the movie with what's his name, but just huge swollen face. And you're like,
Yeah.
I think I had a reaction to the lemonade. What a weird
I still
deal.
don't know what that was, man. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like I'm not allergic to lemons, so there just must have been something weird in there.
Yeah, which that doesn't feel super good. But
No, it doesn't.
do you still go to Chick-fil-A? Do you still eat there?
Like you mean like since then?
No, just like I knew you had a
Just in
routine around it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, not like I used to get it like once a week.
Hmm.
So not like that anymore. But yeah, we'll still go there sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm very much a creature of habit.
Yeah,
You know?
I am too.
I'll get locked in on something.
If Joy forces me to order something different than I normally do at a restaurant, and
Yeah.
it's not outstanding, I revert to a 13-year-old boy, and I'm just mad at her. Like, you did this. She's like, you're a grown adult. You can choose. No, you made me. Jake said, every time I've had Chick-fil-A, it's been a soggy sandwich. Not my jam. I will say Chick-fil-A is delicious. I like Chick-fil-A. However, very much an example of a brand that has a little bit of unwarranted fanfare. It's kind of like I took when I lived in Houston, everyone loves Whataburger in Texas. And my wife was coming to visit me. And so I was like, well, we got to go to Whataburger, which we did. And she was like, kind of an average burger. I was like, yeah, it kind of is actually. I think similarly for Chick-fil-A, it's a pretty ordinary chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I agree. I think that just like what they got going for them is a consistency floor.
True.
That's nice.
Yes.
You go to other fast food places, it might be like inedible sometimes.
100%.
So at least Chick-fil-A, you're gonna get like
Yeah.
you're gonna get a passing grade at least.
I hate to throw McDonald's under the bus because Mickey D's in this age of inflation has had some pretty good deals.
Yeah.
But it's definitely when you say that example, I think of like ordering something from Mickey D's and just being like, "This isn't what I ordered," and the person just being like,
See ya.
just okay,
Not my problem.
Yeah, sorry, dude. That's what they gave me back there. So. Which actually I had an experience at McDonald's where I was trying to order, we were like traveling somewhere and I was trying to order something and they had some deal where it was like you buy one thing off the menu, the second one is 99 cents. And so I got, because I'm a fatty, I was like, dude, I get a lot of cool stuff here. So I got a chicken sandwich and then I got a second one, but they both were showing the price as the same. And the cashier, he's like, that'll be $6.84 or something. And I was like, oh, well, it says right there on the menu up there, it should be 99 cents. And he literally looked up and he was just like, oh, okay. And I go, so I don't think that's correct. Like, I don't think it's, and he was like just didn't offer anything. He just was like nodding. And I was like, so like, do you think you could? And then he was like, and he just walked away. And like someone else came to the register and was like, "Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I do? What can I help you? Whatever." And I was just like, that was a weird, Anyway,
he'd reached his limit for the day.
So yeah, you don't get that at Chick-fil-A. You definitely get a little bit better.
Yeah.
So. Well, let's talk a little Critical Role today. A lot of Critical Role news coming out. Probably short term. I did not realize the live show aired last night.
I didn't either until I got like a tweet notification. So I did not watch it, but I didn't even realize that was coming out.
Yeah. Surprisingly, not about lewdness is what I was told.
Oh, really?
Really.
Oh,
so
yeah. Well, I wonder what it's about then.
Yeah. So I'm very, very curious. I would have watched it. I just didn't. I made a note yesterday to check like their weekly programming to see if anything was on, and then I just didn't. So I just assumed there wasn't. But
yeah.
So I'm assuming next Thursday is the second one, and then Holly Mack said, "Can't wait to see what they are going to announce tomorrow." Are you referencing the Indianapolis show that they said they were going to announce, or is Gamescom this weekend?
I think both.
Okay, because I know they said they were making an announcement at Gamescom. I thought.
Yeah. Which I think, whatever that convention is, I think it's in the same place that they're doing the live show or whatever, right?
Let's see. Gamescom.
So I don't know. I don't know where they're making the announcement. If they're doing it like at a panel at the convention, or if they're like doing it at the live show. But
Gamescom is August 20th. So
oh, well, never mind.
So Holly, is the Indianapolis show this weekend? I thought it was usually on like a Thursday, but I guess it's not. I guess I'm misremembering.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It is the indie show. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So yes, the CR team said they were going to have a big announcement at the indie show. I think this is also this show this weekend is C3. It's Bell's Hells as Daggerheart, which they also released some addendum content to Daggerheart. To like they released like I don't know the vernacular, but they released like a werewolf subclass, and so people now have started to see, oh, okay, so Chetney would be that, and like I've started to figure it all out. So my guess at this announcement is either a C4 starting date, which it feels like we've kind of run to the end of our summer programming, if you will. Or it will be an announcement of what system C4 is going to be, which I think is 70-30 Daggerheart, or both. Do you have any take on that?
I feel like if it's the latter, it's also the former. Like, I don't see them just announcing like, hey, we're doing Daggerheart, and then like not saying anything else. So my guess is that I feel like it's got to be C4 related.
Yeah, I feel
like,
the same way.
We just had all these other announcements about the Mighty Nine show is coming out in November. There wasn't an official announcement, but the official word that a video game is coming. So, like, what else is there to really talk about? I feel like it has to be C4, unless it's some entirely new thing that they're launching or something.
We're also, bro, in 5 days, we are 6 months since our last Critical Role episode.
That can't be right.
Yeah. February 6th was the final episode.
Dude, 2025 just has not felt real to me.
I know,
like,
man.
I don't
and not in a good way either.
Not in a good way, and in a very time dilated way. That's crazy.
It's not like summer season when you're off school and you're like, I've played video games all day. This has been awesome. Then you're like, wait, school's tomorrow? And you've just been like,
what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. This is very much like, yay, 2025 kind of feel. But Glimmy says they've sponsored at least one actual play I know of to switch to Daggerheart. They're going hard on this, it seems. What's the actual play? I'm super curious about that. I'm also, by the way, I'm very bad at tracking long-standing actual plays. Like, I think sometimes the misunderstanding is like for actual play, there's Critical Role, Dimension 20, not another D&D podcast. My brother, what is it? My brother, oh man, something, and me. I can't think of the name.
Oh yeah, I know.
But so I think people think of like just a few, but there's actually quite a few, and I'm always surprised to learn about others. And then also, I can't think of Luis Carrazzo. He has an actual play.
Yeah.
Is that Daggerheart? Also,
no idea.
Okay,
I don't think it started as it. Maybe they switched.
Okay. Glimmy says bonus action is the actual play. I don't actually know that one. But
I don't either, I don't think.
We keep talking about this. I don't think your feelings have changed, and mine have not either, but if they announce Daggerheart for C4, immediate response?
Doesn't really matter to me. Like, on some level, I'll miss things about D&D, but that really is... I still don't understand Daggerheart enough, so for all I know, the things I think I'll miss would probably just be present anyway, just in a different skin, if you will.
Yeah. I feel the same way. My only complaint about Daggerheart, I'm not even really going to get into it, because just like I could say, my only complaint about Daggerheart is there's plenty to also say about D&D. Of like, well, my only complaint about D&D. So
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a merit there is to actually talk about that. Holly Mac says Luis Carrazzo's actual play is D&D. It's not Daggerheart. So
For no reason, like for no reason at all, I just feel like they're gonna stick with D&D. I don't know why.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like as
wonder
a
if they
brand, they seem
pay
like they're
them.
going really hard on Daggerheart.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a good point.
Especially
like,
with Bell's Hells being ported to Daggerheart.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess why do that if they're not kind of trying to ease people into it?
Jake says they got to figure out the card system better for online. I've heard this criticism. I agree with you in the criticism. The way I've seen this rebutted is people saying, well, just like with D&D and like player sheets, people have found alternative ways to navigate all of that. And I think also either cards, you can visually access them online, or there's like an alternative way. You don't actually need the cards. I don't know how true that is because I haven't played a session of Daggerheart. But you know, for Will, they have cards for like their heritage and things like that.
Yeah.
Similar to like a player sheet, I guess. Holly Mac says, I've really enjoyed Age of Umbra. I really enjoyed the 3 episodes I watched. I do plan to finish it. Where are you at in that, Will?
I think I think I started 4, but I'm also like 4 episodes behind, like, as well. But I enjoyed it as well. It's just I don't even remember what happened like that week, but I think both of us had like. Was that when you had? Was that when
I had a baby, and then I had a new work stuff happening, and it was all like in the same month. So
yeah.
Reactions on the Mighty Nine news coming in November.
I can't believe it, man. I mean, it makes sense. We know they've been working on it for a while, but I still didn't think it would be this soon. Like, so yeah, I'm really excited. But yeah, surprised.
We've talked about this before, but I feel like there was some news article about this recently too, but them making some tweaks to like the narrative of it to make it make better sense. We saw like more kind of heavy-handed, for lack of a better phrase, changes like this in the most recent episode or season of Vox Machina.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're probably okay for the most part with like as they kind of navigate that, or are there certain? I know one thing you mentioned was how Bard's Lament was handled. Does Mighty Nine have similar like things like that where you're like, yeah, change it for the show, but please leave me this.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I think the Bard's Lament thing was like extenuating circumstances mostly. You know, like I don't think it was like they decided to change that just because they didn't know if they were going to get renewed.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I can't remember what in particular is making me think this, but I do feel like I saw a couple of things where they've been like kind of easing people into like, hey, this is going to be a bit different. Like Mighty Nine is like, it's going to be the same thing at its heart. And I think they're going to try to hit like the same moments, but I feel like this show, even more than Vox Machina, they've been preparing us to be like it's going to be like a different canon is a very strong way to put it, but you know what I mean? Like it's not going to be a beat by beat of the campaign. So,
I mean, this is also the campaign where they had the biggest viewership too, because it was during COVID. So I'm sure they're also really keen to think about how all that translates for viewers. And I think that's part of the reason why they've been so open about how they're going to adjust it. But, and I also,
you go ahead.
I was just say, I also heard that the episodes are an hour long each.
Yeah, same. But I haven't, are there half as many and they're an hour long, or do we know, are there the same amount but twice the content?
That's a good question. Let's see. I don't know. Vox Machina has always been 12 episodes, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah, because they release 3 a week or whatever, and I think they do that for a month.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I am glad that they're sticking with Titmouse for Mighty Nine. Just like the style and feel has always been so good for Vox Machina.
Yeah, I loved the character designs they showed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the announcement. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, you know, with an adaptation like this, you don't want them to stray too far away from the source. But that's not really like, I do expect it to be different, but I'm not really worried about it just because I know that they want, like, I trust their passion and their vision for this series. You know, it's not like some corporate suits that are like trying to adapt this to make money. It's them. So
yeah, it's kind of like. Sorry, I was gonna say I saw a funny Reddit thread that was like, it was a joke, but it was talking about how. Did you see K-pop Demon Hunters?
No, but I keep like hearing about it.
Same. Don't know anything about it, but apparently it's just huge acclaim.
Yeah,
and
like blowing up.
Netflix was considering how to port it to live action, and it was like, gosh, can we get one less corporation to think about? Like, you know, what's the next thing we can do with this?
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, well, that'll be exciting. I'm excited to. This is a campaign I've seen the least of. I've seen maybe the first 10 episodes. Yeah. So I'm excited to. I've read a lot of it since then and like different plot threads, and I think as the years went on, I became less attached to not having spoilers. And then also I had 2 players in one of my campaigns who that was the first campaign they watched was campaign 2, and so they were sharing some stuff from that as well. But yeah, so. I'm keen to see how the show is and what happens, and you know, I'm excited for all of that.
Me too, and yeah, I'm very curious about the hour thing because if it is the same amount of episodes, like then that's a pretty hefty investment. You know what I mean? Like because it's basically 2 seasons in one compared to what we're used to.
Yeah.
So. I guess it would make sense though, like you said, since this is their most popular campaign, like maybe they're really trying to like go in on having this be really successful for them.
Do we remember? Am I misremembering this? In Vox Machina, didn't they change like the names of spells or like the aesthetic to kind of like get away from 5e a little bit? They changed
some stuff, yeah. Like, okay. Yeah, they didn't use any of the 5e names.
Okay, so I
like
also
in terms of deities and stuff.
Yeah, so I also wonder then, will we see not just that? I mean, we'll see that continue with Mighty Nine. I think it'd be an incredible tell. Which by the time it airs, we would already know about Campaign 4. But if they have Daggerhearted, like the language around spells and stuff, I mean, that would seal it for me. But again, by November, we would probably already know. So
yeah.
You know, whatever. Yeah. Which, again, makes sense because if they did Daggerheart it, people who watch Mighty Nine would then be redirected to check out Daggerheart, you know, just by association. So there's a pretty smart like branding thing with all of this. Because like I have friends who loved Vox Machina, who saw Vox Machina and didn't even know it was a show, or like a D&D live play, you know. So anyway, that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what their next big moves are.
We also got for the game an announcement around the studio that they were partnering with, and this is the studio that it's not Telltale Games, but it was something about like developers from Telltale Games or what have you who did Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead, basically like those narrative stories.
Yeah.
And they also have a game that just came out. I can't remember the name of it. That looked like a pretty cool game. Very narrative oriented just from like the gameplay trailer. So all this to say, though, we've talked about like, could their next game be like a Baldur's Gate style game, or what would it be like? Yeah. Doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like it's going to be a Walking Dead, you know, a narrative kind of game
Yeah.
Does that match kind of your thoughts from that as well?
Based on what you just told me, yes. I wouldn't have imagined that initially, but that does make a lot of sense. I feel like because one, I think a lot of them have worked on those games, like so they probably already had like the relationships there.
Yeah.
But two, that does seem like a much more palatable first foray into creating a video game. Like you don't start with Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
You know, like so that makes sense to me.
I mean, I'm still a little bummed we didn't get like a Larian Studios partnership announcement.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been pretty nuts.
I would love that, obviously.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and maybe, you know, if this is testing the waters, maybe that could still one day be the case.
Yeah. I can't imagine like how many meetings the Critical Role team is in, like big picture. I mean, think about all the projects they're involved in on top of like personal life voice acting projects.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be crazy.
I can't imagine, man.
Absolutely. So
I can't imagine. Like no wonder they've taken 6 months between starting campaign 4, you know, because then that's another literal weekly block that they have.
If we get a campaign 4 announcement tomorrow, when do you think is the earliest it would air? What's your guess?
I still I think it can't be until after all the live shows are done.
Well, we have one in December, right?
I think so.
The wedding, I think.
I mean, I guess there's no reason why it couldn't start before then, but that's always been my like gut instinct is that like that would wrap things up, but I guess it might be good to like cross promote sort of to like already have that up and running. So I don't know. I mean, if it is announced tomorrow, maybe they would try to coincide with the Mighty Nine show and like try to really just drum up as much hype for like checking out their stuff or something. Yeah. Like imagine campaign 4, which is going to bring in like the premiere episodes always has like the most viewership, and you're plugging Mighty Nine. You know, like I could see something like that. Yeah.
Holly and Glimmy both said October at the earliest. I'm also thinking October, and I'm pretty sure campaign 3 launched in October, which would be interesting too. Not that they probably, I mean, you can't really guess how long a campaign will go on the front end since it's like a multi-year project. But if they are thinking about Critical Role big term, like brand wise, there's probably at least been a conversation around, you know, when do you typically expect, I guess they wouldn't do this, but like, yeah, usually in the fall there's a new campaign, or then again, it's not every year, but anyway, I'm sure they've thought about it though. So, well, one last thing to talk about as we wrap up. I was thinking about, I don't know how much you followed the news on Last Epoch, the ARPG that.
Yeah, not really.
So, you know, it started as a Diablo clone, I guess, back in 2016, 2017. It was a Kickstarter project, and now it's grown to be a pretty massive game. It's a pretty big competitor to Path of Exile and Diablo, probably like the third one in the list. And anyway, they were just this last week acquired by Krafton. So Krafton bought them. Krafton is now their parent company. Krafton is the company that runs PUBG, and they're also the company that bought Subnautica, which I don't know how familiar you are with the Subnautica news, but so they bought Subnautica, and short end of it, the way it's been described is that they fired the founders, and basically because it didn't reach like sales goals, it like Subnautica 2 basically got, I don't know if to say gutted is the right word, but something happened with Subnautica 2 in that whole process. In addition to the founders being fired, I think there was some like incentive on sales that now the team doesn't get awarded or something. And that's the most I understand of it. You know, Glimmy just said Subnautica drama was wild. So it's the same parent company.
So not a good thing.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Well, so naturally the people are really apprehensive around this and really upset about this. The conversation where it's kind of evolved is like these indie games that then become like overly corporatized and kind of like, and you also have people who take it very personal because of like parasocial relationships, and it just feels very personal. You know, it's like you think about Path of Exile, you know, Chris Wilson's no longer with Path of Exile, but you have people who feel very personal towards him because Chris Wilson you know, hey, it's Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games and built it from scratch. So, all that to say, what is your, like, when you think about Critical Role in like that organization, I mean, it's not indie anymore. It's not like, you remember them doing like the Kickstarter for Vox Machina. Yeah. They're way beyond the scope of that.
Yeah.
Do you ever have any thoughts or worries, or just like, man, is it a matter of time before they become like corporate? Or I'm just curious, like, how you interpret all that.
I mean, I would hope it would never get to like soulless level. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it wouldn't become like a Blizzard situation. But I feel like I can already notice some of the, and I don't know a way to, like, it's inevitable to some extent. You know what I mean? Like, they started like even way before the Kickstarter, like campaign 1, like after every episode they would like open fan mail and gifts at the end of the stream and like have Critmas and stuff, like, and I'm not saying that like, oh, I wish we still had that every single time, but like, you know, you kind of shed off some of these like these more personal aspects the bigger and bigger you grow. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I feel like that's only going to continue to happen. So, you know, at some point in the distant future, you know, especially if like the main cast ever like kind of step back and step aside, I would worry about this even more. But, you know, so far they've handled it, I think, the best that they could. Like, I don't really think of anything they could have done better in terms of like, oh, they really sold out here and, you know, this, that, and the other. But, mm-hmm. you know, I guess I'm expecting it to some extent, but not in like a Blizzard or that company type of way. Like, I would hope it wouldn't get to that extent. But
they seem interested in like retaining their own ownership rather than like selling to like a larger company. And I assume that that's a big piece of sort of like stopping that slow descent into, you know, corporatization. So anyway, I guess the only like other things I see with that too, mentioning the parasocial relationships, is seeing some of these bigger decisions. And we talked about it in campaign 3, where like they made certain decisions that like people really took personal. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's the internet, so I guess that's going to continue. But like if they announced Daggerheart tomorrow, I could just see the Reddit thread of the person who's like, why would you do this to me? You know, just someone who just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just funny to me.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah, for sure. Like, there's definitely going to be a lot of hate if that is what's announced, because, you know, people don't like change.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. Thank you guys for tuning in to our stream today. Worlds Beyond in the next week. We'll have a stream next Friday. Sunday night is our Calamity rewatch party, starting with episode 1. So join us Sunday night. There's an event in the Discord if you need it to sync up with your time zone. Would love to have you join. But otherwise, that's going to do it. We'll see you guys later.
All right, y'all. Have a